They have this skirmish with the French there. Now they're continuing the first march. And if you remember the march that we talked about with Napoleon's troops going into Russia and back, these guys are under the same basic conditions of, if you want to move the army's going to walk. Back to the book. A sergeant of the so he's now on this. Also, not only are they forced marching right now, they're starting to retreat. They're starting to take heavies, and they start a retreat. Back to the book. A sergeant of the 92nd Highlanders just about this time fell dead with fatigue, and no one stopped as we passed to offer him any assistance. Night came down upon us. So let's think about that. And I highlighted that one, but throughout this book, he talks about people just dying, and he says they died of fatigue. I don't even know what that means, actually. Maybe they're dehydrated. I don't know. But if you think about these guys who are risking their lives for each other, how exhausted are they that when someone falls out during this forced march, they just leave them there? Back to the book. Night came down upon us without our having tasted food or halted. I speak for myself and those around me. All night long we continued this dreadful march. Men began to look into each other's faces and ask the question, are we ever to be halted again? And many of the weaker sort were now seen to stagger, make a few desperate efforts, and then fall, perhaps to rise no more. Most of us had devoured all we carried in our haversacks, and endeavored to catch up anything we could snatch from a hut or cottage in our route. Many, even at this period, would have straggled from the ranks and perished, had not Craufurd held them together with a firm rein. One such bold and stern commander in the East during a memorable disaster, and that devoted army had reached its refuge unbroken. Thus we staggered on night and day for about 4 days before we discovered the reason of this forced march. And they find out that they're marching actually towards England. They're trying to get away.